What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are talking about Pswap. We're actually going to be talking more about the fundamentals rather than the technical analysis, mainly because there isn't much trading data that we can talk about with Pswap. But we're going to be looking at Pswap. We're going to be looking at what other decentralized exchange tokens have done and kind of predict what we could expect from Pswap in the future. Obviously, things have changed with the bull market. We are going through a bit of a bearish trend, but it is still important to not lose sight of good projects that are still out there and right now at a really super cheap price, because we did see Pswap jump to around 88 cents, a pretty decent price, but currently it's sitting at around 35 cents. But as you know, Pswap is the token for the Polkaswap DEX. So obviously right now you can only buy Pswap on Uniswap or on the Polkaswap DEX. I would highly encourage you to actually get onto the Polkaswap DEX rather than buying it on Uniswap, because you might as well start learning, especially if you're bullish for the Polkadot ecosystem. So I put together some talking points here to discuss what has happened on previous altcoins in terms of the decentralized exchange tokens, and then what could possibly happen with Pswap and the Pswap price. So we're discussing Uniswap here, Sushiswap, Pancake Swap, and then Ape Swap currently with the BSC chain. So with Uniswap, it started, the first day of trading was roughly around $3.44. 7-day obviously jumped up. You see the overall ROI is calculated by the current price and the starting day price. Now this isn't the launch price, so that's important to note. This isn't any pre-sale price. This is strictly what it was worth on Uniswap once it started trading. So the ROI to the current price for Uniswap is roughly 702%. Sushiswap went through a similar increase to roughly 423%. And obviously we have the token supply of 1 billion tokens for Uniswap and then 250 million for Sushiswap. And then you have the total market caps here, so 12 billion, and then Sushiswap is 1.8 billion. So obviously Sushiswap is the counterpart. They're both on the Ethereum blockchain. Now, Pancake Swap is a direct cut from the Ethereum blockchain, in specifics the BSC. So the BSC runs both Pancake and Ape Swap. But right now for Pancake, it started trading at roughly $1.03. Currently, it's trading at roughly $17.13. I know that's fluctuating from now, but the ROI currently is sitting at 1,600%. So a pretty big ROI, and I'd probably attribute this more so to the traffic coming in, the excitement, and the ease of onboarding certain people coming into the system. You see that it is an infinite supply, and the current circulating supply is 172 million tokens, and its current market cap is 2.95 billion. Now we have Banana, which is the new token for Ape Swap that just came out. We don't have a lot of trading data for this, but you do see that day one it started trading at 87 cents, day 7, $1.49. Day 30, $2.89, and the current price is actually $2.89, and that is roughly a 332% increase from its original trading price. The market cap is at $4.6 million, so not billion. This is our smallest cap yet. Now we're looking at Pswap. So it's very important to know exactly how those other decentralized exchanges moved to kind of predict what we could see for Pswap. We're going to first look at what it's done already. So it started trading day one. When I bought in, it was at 37 cents. Day 7, it went up to around 44 cents. And right now it's sitting at roughly 34 cents, but the actual all-time high is 88 cents. So right now it's actively trading at a ROI of negative 9% from the 37 cent from the first day that we bought it. I'm not exactly sure of the token supply. I saw 100 million somewhere, and then I saw 10 billion somewhere. So I'm not sure what the actual token supply is, but there's a lot of confusing things that I don't understand about the tokenomics with a Val token, Pswap, and XOR. So that's still a thing that I need to learn. Speaking of, if anyone is knowledgeable about the tokenomics for those tokens specifically, go ahead and leave me a comment down below if you're willing to either talk to me on stream or just answer my questions in Discord, and I'll formulate that into a video, that would be a lot of help so I could kind of understand that a little bit better. But the current market cap is sitting at roughly, and this is an estimate, at $13.86 million. So that could be a little bit more, could be a little bit less. This was all my calculations. This isn't from any specific outlet of any kind. Now I want to highlight the DEX by visits. So this is important to note because this is how much traffic we're getting. So you can see Pancake Swap is actually leading this right now over Uniswap. Even though Uniswap is the #1 DEX, Pancake Swap is the #1 DEX in terms of traffic, mainly because it's probably easier to use, cheaper fees. It's run on the Binance Smart Chain. So there's a lot of bullish narrative around it that makes it easier for people to onboard rather than getting onto Uniswap. That doesn't mean that Uniswap isn't good. I think Uniswap is going to be great when we have ETH 2.0. It's going to be perfect in terms of the fees, but right now it's lacking. It's not really the best barrier of entry for a lot of people. And that's why I think we're going to see a big boom for decentralized exchanges like Polkaswap. So let's talk about the bull and bear case of the Pswap token. In terms of the bull case, now I know a lot of numbers have been thrown out, and this is all speculation looking at how the ROI has been for Uniswap, for Sushi, for Cake, Banana, and kind of giving our best estimates to what we think it could be. So I've estimated a 1-year token at $7.42, 2 years at $11.12, and then 5 years at $18.5. I know a lot of people have said $9, $10 more dollars. The reason why I'm not keeping the numbers higher is mainly because on this channel we like to keep things conservative. So I don't want to overshoot my price predictions. Now, of course, these prices can go a lot higher depending on how much traffic is actually onboarded into the system. So we could see a lot more of a price as the higher demand goes up for Pswap token. And we do know that the tokenomics specifically are at least designed to make it so the token is more valuable in the future. I know that some people might say that these are a little bit bearish, but I'd probably say that these are pretty conservative and accurate representations of where we realistically could go, depending on the ROIs and also depending on whether or not we go into a bear market. Now, it's important to note that even though we went through a bear market at the end of 2017, we did go through a DeFi boom. And I think a lot of the reason for that is mainly because people recognize that they can earn a big yield on their tokens that maybe aren't doing anything. And I think we're going to see a similar like boom for DeFi as soon as people that are seriously hodling and recognize that they could stake their tokens for liquidity pools and make an earning. I think a lot of people will rush to DeFi, and especially as more accessible DeFi comes out to people. We already see what's happening with Matic. We already see what's happening with Pswap and everything else. There's a lot of bullish sentiment around the DeFi space right now. And I think it's a perfect time to get into a token like Pswap when we know it's an ecosystem that we're all hugely bullish on. And of course, we need to go through the bear cases. In terms of 8 months, I'm saying the bear case for the Pswap token is roughly $1.20. 1 year, $2.63. The 2 year, $6.72. And then the 5 year, $9.56. Obviously, this is the bearish case. I definitely think we are going to see much bigger numbers than this. Even in terms of my bullish case, those numbers are a little bit bearish. I do believe that at the end of the market cycle, so at the end of 2022, we could see roughly a $9 Pswap. It's not out of the question, definitely, but I don't think that we're going to see that in the near term, especially with the market sentiment that's going on right now. Now, right now, I only have trading data on TradingView for the Pswap wrapped Ether chart. There's not really much to talk about here other than the slow decline and bleed. So really, we're not going to pay too much attention to the Ether valuation to Pswap, but we will look at the USD chart at least here and kind of get an idea of what's happened. And really, all we're looking at is the exact same thing that's happened to a lot of other tokens. We saw this with Polkadot. We saw this with a bunch of others. Usually what will happen is it'll release, it'll pump for a little bit, and then it'll go on an exaggerated decline and an accumulation period when people are accumulating, and then eventually make the leg up once the trend reverses and it starts going into a more bullish sentiment. So we do expect that eventually to happen. We do expect more people to get onboarded onto the Pswap system, and the ecosystem will grow from there. Now, a good thing to note, if you have Ethereum, ZOR, whatever, you could be offering up your ZOR and Ethereum as liquidity. You can see here that I have ZOR and Pswap and ZOR and VAL offered up as liquidity. So I actually earn Pswap tokens every day So people are using my tokens to trade with in these giant pools, and those feeds and the trades are split amongst the people who are providing their tokens as liquidity. So me and a bunch of other people. Now, eventually, when the DEX is all finished and all working, we are going to be able to claim our rewards from here. But currently, we do have to go through the polkadot.js application, and we get rewards from there. So you go to your application, you make sure that you're connected to the SORA network, you make sure you're on developer and RPC calls, you select Pswap distribution, and then hit submit RPC call. And you can see exactly how much ZOR you have in your balance. And then you can go ahead and claim that ZOR by going back up to developer and go to extrinsics, click on that, select your system, go to Pswap distribution, and then hit submit the transaction, submit and sign. And then you're going to be prompted with your wallet. You just enter your password, hit enter in the wallet, and then that will go ahead and send to your Pswap. So we'll wait for that to send here in a minute. Okay. So that has sent over. So let's go back to our Pswap. So we're going to go back to our DEX. And we're going to go to our account. And here you can see all the Pswap that we've earned. And there we go. So you just saw that my Pswap increased from 54 to 75. So that's the new Pswap that I just claimed from my Polkadot app. Now, of course, the decentralized exchange isn't completely done. It's still a work in progress, and developers are currently building on the ecosystem. We know that parachains are coming live soon, and it's going to be very useful to be on Pswap to get into a lot of those tokens before you're able to get into them. Maybe you don't want to pay the ETH gas fee to buy them on Uniswap. So instead of buying Moonbeam on Uniswap, you can easily just buy it on the SORA network. So I'd highly recommend that you go ahead, get set up with Pswap if you plan on holding some Pswap tokens. Hopefully that helped you assess whether or not Pswap is a good buy for you. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, so take anything that I said here with a grain of salt. But I am hugely bullish on the Polkadot ecosystem, whether that's DOT, KSM, or Pswap and the Pswap ecosystem. So I definitely think it's going to be a great investment in the future, and I think you should absolutely look into it as well. That's it for me. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and happy hodling.